Okay.
And I think we're just about ready to go. How you guys doing? Yeah? Good. Math 105? Yes?
Yes.
Yep. Right place. Good. I got here. It's going to be a bit of a stretch getting me down here on time, just because of where I'm coming from. We're up at Grandview, that area, and then I've got students usually have questions after class, so I try to get them all wrapped up and then taken care of before I head down. But I might be a few minutes late each day, so hopefully don't hang me out to dry. Apologies. Make it up to you guys. Yeah, Math 105. How many of you guys, this is your last math course ever? Ever. How exciting is that?
I have 244 after this.
Excellent. That's right, Frank. You did 243 already. Yes, it's an interesting sequence. Yeah, this is not even going to be a math course, a traditional math course. It's going to be more of a statistics probability course. I've got a taste of that for you guys later on. We'll look at a kind of a fun little probability type of problem for us to look at later. Get like wet the whistle and kind of get the idea of what kind of stuff we'll be doing in here. It's not like an x equals 2 kind of course for the most part. It's definitely more of a reading the news in a more intelligent way kind of course. Being able to like crack open a research study and decide if the result that is within that research study is believable or not, or if you should even bother reading it based on the first 3 paragraphs, that kind of a thing. I've designed it that way. I know it's supposed to be a terminal course. I think the idea of it is you stop after 105 for the most part. It looks like most of you aren't. Who's not done after 105? That's awesome. This makes 243? Is that what I'm guessing?
244.
244, 243. What else are you guys taking besides, if you're not done after 105?
111. 111.
You need 105 and 111.
I already did 111.
You already did 111. Which, if you don't mind me asking, which major is making you do both?
I switched.
Oh, you switched. Okay, okay. And now they're making you take 105.
I have
Not because I want you to take 2 math classes,
Any
but
math, any math.
any math course. So 105 works beautifully for that. And who else is taking 111 and 105?
Oh, not 111. I had to take 245 last term, and then when I changed my degree, they said I had to add one more.
Add one more, 245, which it got canceled this term. I just took it last term.
What is it?
Yeah.
It's a finite math course. I think it's called Math for the Management, Life, and Social Sciences.
Yeah, it was actually a lot of
It's a
fun,
cool
but our
course.
class went from 20 to like 4.
Yeah, and now it's 0 because they canceled it.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's an interesting course. It's a very, very specific course for very, very specific people, mostly business majors. Very interesting stuff for those kinds of folks. I know there's a big wait list in this course. I apologize. We didn't perceive a wait list, and why don't you guys, if you want, I'm not sure who's waitlisted and who's not, and I'm not going to deal with checking in people for about 40 minutes or so. If you guys want to grab chairs from the hall and drag them in for now, or hang out, whatever you want to do, that door might work too, maybe. Look at that.
Do you want your chair back?
No, I don't sit down. I'm ADD, baby. So, yeah, so we've got a lot of people in here. I'll get everybody I possibly can in. The rule is I can only put people in desks. In other words, I can't, dragging the chairs in is great for now, but I can't have people sitting in chairs once we get everybody kind of officially in. So I will get as many folks in as I can, and I wish there was some other section I could divert you into. The only other sections I think are 111 sections or other 120. So that's pretty much the only options we have. So I'll try to get as many of you in as I can, I promise.
How about we steal some desks from the next?
Well,
Next door.
yeah, I tried that a few terms ago. I didn't like it too much. Yeah. So that's another option of having the hybrid. The hybrid option would be fantastic for that. Just dump 10 people into a hybrid section, but we'll get there.
What do you mean by hybrid?
Where you wouldn't actually come to class, you just learn by watching the videos. So you'd have an online component, more of an online component than literally in class component.
Is that going to
Still
start next term?
working the bugs out. What's that?
Is that going to start next term?
It's going to start as soon as I can. Right now I'm piloting it with 243 and 244. We're going to see where it goes from there. So I think it's going to work well. I mean, the idea of the flipping the classroom around is, it does well when you have like 10 people on a wait list, because you can't create a whole new section for 10 people, but it also sucks for 10 people because I lock them out potentially, so we'll get there. We'll get there. So welcome, I'm Sean, 105, Intro to Contemporary Math, I think is what it's called. It's more like an intro to prob and stat. That's the way I kind of... How many of you guys taking 243 and 244? There's a chunk of you? Stat classes, statistics classes? Only a few of you. Okay, like 2 of you. Well, the rest of you, I'll get you a nice grounding in, and then you can go read the newspaper more effectively. Or believe all that crap you see on Facebook. Or not believe all that crap you see on Facebook. Better yet. So, we'll come back to that as well. Anyway, today, really all I want to do today is two things. I want to walk you guys through my syllabus, which is all online. And I have one question I wanted to ask you guys as a class, and I want to kind of get those wheels turning of probabilistic statistical thinking. So we'll start with the syllabus, because that's what you're probably the most interested in today anyway. To get to it, it's cocc.edu/srule. And I will get to it right now, so you can get it. You can see. If you don't mind killing the lights, one of the lights back there, that'd be fantastic. That's beautiful. Srule. I don't think you need a www. Let's find out. Nope, you don't. It puts it in there for you. So here we are. Actually, can we switch those lights and see what that looks like?
There we go.
Is that better?
Yeah.
Because it took away these two, which I
Yeah.
think might be, that way my nose looks even larger in the picture. That's better. It's the first, when I first got here 10 years ago, I can't stop using it.
Well, your hair's
They keep, well, a little bit. They keep asking me to, but whatever. So anyway, here's the syllabus. I'm not going to hand you a multi-page document today because everything's online, which I think works out for the best. That way there's nothing for you to lose, and it saves printing costs, which you guys pay for anyway. So anyway, here's all the contact information up here. I'm in Grandview, which is, I think, just about as far away from this spot as you can go on campus. And it's uphill. So it's awesome. It's awesome. I love the Stairmaster that is COCC's campus. But yeah, we're up on the hill. If you need to get me to in my office hours, by no means do you have to. I respond really well to email. Email is probably the best way if you can't get to office hours to get in touch with me. I get very little office hour traffic. That says something about my personality. But email works great, honestly. It's a fantastic way, especially with folks with smartphones. You can fire notes off to me really, really quickly. I check, as soon as I go back to the office, I log on, check emails, get stuff cleared away. If I'm sitting at my desk and emails come in, I fire them right back. It's amazing what we can get done mathematically with email too, which I know might not seem totally logical. It might seem kind of weird, like how do you put the symbols in and all this and all that, and honestly it works just great. It works totally great. You can make it all work just fine. So there's the office, there's the email, there's the office phone if you need me. You don't need the extension though. Right there, there's the phone. There's the fax number, which I wouldn't use personally. I'm a little fax challenged. I'm surprised fax machines still exist, to be perfectly honest.
I agree.
It's kind of like a 1982 technology, kind of like myself. But anyway, so there's the contact information up top. We'll scroll down here. So it's a grid. There should be lines. I don't know what happened. I had lines and the lines disappeared, so I have to go figure out where the lines went. But it was like a grid table. I'll fix that later. And some stuff is bolded and some stuff isn't. That's weird too. Whatever. Well, your guys is bolded, so look for the bolded stuff, I guess. That first column is you guys. Here we are. There we are. Here when we are. That's some number you probably never need to use again. This is a link. This guy right here is a hyperlink. So that takes you out to the, we'll explore that today. Oh, there's okay. Office hours are down there. I've got them right after class, essentially. I'm going to go grab some grub and then head up to the office at 1 if you need to come up and meet me up there. And on Wednesday at 1 as well, which works out great for you guys as far as your class time, which is, it's not so great for everybody else's, but for you guys, forget them. You guys got it great. And then on Thursday as well. So Monday, Wednesday, and Thursday. And I want to spend the majority of today just exploring this link, which is probably the most important one for you guys to understand when you walk out of here today. Because if you can work your way around this page, you're set for the term. So, how many of your eyes were drawn to the big yellow rectangle when I flipped over to this page? Yes, there's a reason that McDonald's and Burger King use yellow and red on their signs. It's because it's been shown to divert attention. Greens and blues are too mild. My new phone in my office has this bright red light that lets me know when I have a voicemail. I never checked voicemail before because I could never tell when I had it. There was a light on it, but it was like this dark gray light that was off to one side. Now there's a big bright red light on the front. And I walk in my office, I'm just like, oh, I have voicemail. It's an ADD kid seeing a squirrel. Right to the phone. So yellows and reds do a great job of that. So I tend to use them in vomitous amounts on the schedule, on the syllabus page. We'll go through each of these links today. You won't have to go through many of them through the course of the term. This one you'll be using a few times a week if not even more than a few times a week. The rest of them, not so much, but I think it's important to look at them once and understand what's going on exactly. So the first one's the schedule page, and it can be a tad vomit-inducing at first, because it's everything for the entire term in one place. Everything for the entire term in one place. So you've got these jump links up here, week 1 through exam week. You've got this Math 105 homework sheet, and then as you look down, like this is week 1. Now it's a little much, but you can ignore like 80% of it, because it's all 4 of my classes in one place. I do this intentionally. Very often, Math 243 likes to look at videos from 105, and 244 likes to look at videos from 243. So I keep everything in one place so they don't have to jump around too much to get to that stuff. You guys, here's your column. You guys exist in that column all the way down the page. All the way down the page. So you can ignore everything else if you want to, or you can check it out if you want to, if you're interested, that's fine too. So I just got it arranged by every yellow header is the week, and then the red header under is administrative stuff. Like right now I just have the library tutoring schedule, which conveniently enough is like 20 feet that way. That's phenomenal. Don't say that very often. And you've got plenty of tutors down there. If you click on that, there are tutors now in Bend. I believe there's also math tutors in Redmond. Yeah, yes. Quite a few of them right there. Good hours too, 10 to 4, 10 to 5. Fantastic. Tons. They have a tech math tutor up in Redmond? Oh, damn, that's cool. That's super specific. It's like having a 245 tutor in Redmond. That's cool. There's Bend. Bend is a tech math tutor. Ha! No. There's a stat tutor though. A stat tutor most likely can help you with Math 105 if you can't find a math tutor. And I just learned last class that, has anybody used the tutoring center, math tutors before? There's a red and a green can, or there's a can with red and green tape on it, yeah. Apparently there are also cans with blue and yellow tape. Those are stat cans. So if all the red and green cans are gone, grab a blue and yellow one, and that works too. Because chances are the stuff in here is statistical enough they can help you with it. So anyway, there are the hours. There's math right there. Stat was down a little bit lower, and you're golden. So I try to put administrative stuff like in these little red bars here. Like week 2, it's about drop deadlines, and week 5, it's about the midterm grades, and week 7, it's about AW drops. I mean, stuff that's not important to know right now, but that applies to you guys as students. It also will apply to not just this class, but other classes, like stuff that deals with like registration. You know, check with your advisor, make sure you do your course evaluations, things like that. I'll try to put those things in the red bars. So that's why they span the entire length of the whole shebang, because it applies to everybody. And then you gotta kind of just keep an eye on your column and see what's coming down the pike. And that's what I want to get you guys used to today, is looking down that column. What you'll see in each day is what we're gonna do in class on those days. So today, here's what we're gonna be doing. On Wednesday, there's a quiz due. Now there's nothing else that's there except that quiz, which might make you think that you're gonna come to class on Wednesday and do a quiz. You're going to do the quiz before you get here and turn it in when you get to class. I'll explain that way, way more in depth in like 30 minutes. We'll do stuff on Wednesday. We'll also do stuff next Monday, which is currently blank. And there'll also be a quiz due the following Wednesday, which is currently not hyperlinked. But that will be. And the reason that so much, her face is looking kind of scrunched up, like what the hell is going on right now? I mean, there's quite a bit of blankage. There's quite a lot of blank stuff, a lot of blank days. It's like, what the hell are we doing in here? There's a bunch of quizzes due and nothing else. Does anybody have any reason as to why I don't have those spaces filled in?
Keep it dynamic.
That's 100% correct. Tell me your name.
Tom.
Tom, thank you. I keep it. Here's what we're going to be doing in the course. I'm going to show you this right now. Back out. Here are the topics this course contains. Okay, we're going to start with something called, actually we're going to cut estimation. We're going to start with grade, linear, quadratic, and exponential modeling, get into a talk about randomness and counting, and then probability and some statistics at the end. Those are the topics. What I don't know is exactly how long it takes for you guys to kind of get every single one of those topics. I've got a bunch of activities that take us outside of this room. I've got activities where you're rolling dice, where you're flipping coins, where you're playing craps, where you're gambling starbursts. All these things take time, and I haven't done the course enough to kind of get a feel for how long things take. All I know is we're going to start with grade on Wednesday. And I don't know if we'll finish it on Wednesday. It might take till the following Monday to finish. So be it. So if it does, it does. I mean, that's just the way it is. So rather than fill the syllabus with a bunch of topics and then have to move stuff around, I'd rather just kind of update it as we do it. Does that make sense? So today's class, get back out of here again. Today's class, this is all we're doing today. This is all we're doing today. Wednesday's class, I know, is going to start with grade. I just don't know what it's going to finish with. It might finish with grade. It might not finish at all. It might have to carry over to the next class meeting we have together. But I promise you that I'll update the schedule page each day. So when I run back to the office at 1, the first thing I'll do is update this stuff and re-upload it so that you know what we did that day. So in case you miss class, you can grab that, and also the link for the videos will be posted on the page as well. So under each day, you'll have a little video link. Here's a video from class, video from class, video from class. If anybody, actually somebody do this, email me and remind me to send you the links from last semester's 105 class. I still have all the YouTube videos from last term's classes. Some of the topics have changed a little, but I'll give you the link so you have access to those. If somebody just do that, I figure if I tell 30, the chance of one of us doing it is close to 100%. Please, tell me your name.
Natasha.
Natasha, thank you.
Is the Let's Review a Little the video we watched?
No, the video isn't posted. It'll say video from class. Video from class. This is something I haven't decided if we're going to do today. I have something else to do instead. This might not be. This is actually a game of Jeopardy with some mathematics topics in it. Which we can do that if you guys want to as well. Please, tell me your name again.
Brooke.
Brooke, that's right. I knew that. No, I didn't. That's why I asked.
How long do the videos stay up for?
Indefinitely. I leave them up. The one that starts here will be there on week 11. And then what I do is I wipe the whole schedule page clean. They're still around like a year later. It's just that you'll have yours all term long.
Okay.
Yeah, as long as YouTube doesn't kick me out, which they haven't yet. So, and a couple of them have 100,000 views, so I think we're okay. Say again?
Didn't you say you put them on YouTube?
I do, as long as they don't kick me out of YouTube, which they haven't done yet, or threatened to yet. Cool? Yeah, so that's the way students kept thanking me profusely. I did it just on a whim a couple terms ago, and students were like, this is fantastic. If I get sick or if my kids get sick, I could just grab it. I'm like, oh, that works out great. And then it became this hybrid idea, which is also pretty attractive. But yeah, you'll see those links right in here. Natasha, thank you for asking. Cool? Any other questions that please ask them as you think of them now. This is definitely not, I don't use Blackboard, so everything's here. Does that make sense? Don't try to find we can try to find the course in Blackboard, it won't be there. Everything I do is right here off of these pages. I don't like Blackboard because Blackboard requires you to log in with a password, which means people will never ever find this material. And I'm a total educational socialist. I love giving this stuff away. I just got an email about a month ago, or a comment on a YouTube video about a month ago from a girl who's like, thank you, my teacher always sends us to your page to learn how to do this stuff. Wow. Okay, that's awesome, I guess. Guess why the videos have 100,000 hits, because some dude put a comment in French about 6 months ago, and I didn't understand it. I sent him a note back. I'm like, I'm going to play the ugly American. I have no idea what you said. And he said, I'm going to butcher this, but if the leaders of the world were as generous with their talents as you are with yours, imagine the place we live in.
Oh, that's
Exactly! Crying like a baby on my desk. But that's the kind of stuff Blackboard locks that out, right? They'll never find that with Blackboard. So that's why I like keeping stuff. It's a little bit old school, it's a little 90s having web pages like this, but whatever, you guys can deal with it. 90s weren't that bad. So anyway, that's the schedule page, and week by week. So there's today, there will be stuff here, at least a class video, if not more. And then there'll be stuff here and here. Notice there's a lot of red. Oh, I put blue for holidays. Martin Luther King Day, I think, is the only holiday we have. If there's a snow day, which I don't think we're having trouble with that this term, but we'll see. If there's a snow day, I'll put it in blue like this, because it kind of gets your attention. It's amazing. If you have so much red and yellow, the blue actually pops out. So there are lots of red. Red means things are due. And we'll talk more about those things as we go through today, as about what I'm going to say. You may have noticed there's some things called projects that have floated by, and there's lots of quizzes, and then there's a couple exams. So you'll notice all of these we're going to talk about all those today as well, so that you know. Okay? Fairly straightforward. And it's all the way down, all the way till exam week, right down here. So that's the schedule page. We'll keep coming back to this today. Notice some things are hyperlinked, like this project is hyperlinked, already ready to go for you. Some things are standalone, we'll come back to those. Some things are time dependent, which is why they're not hyperlinked yet, like this quiz, this exam, they're not hyperlinked. They will be with plenty of time to do them. And we'll talk about that as we go. Any questions you guys have right now about that schedule page? Anything you got?
Those hyperlink things?
Yes,
you can
ma'am.
print them out and bring them in, or does
You
it-
can, you don't have to.
Oh, so
you-
it'll just shoot to you on its own, or?
No, it's not quite that high tech yet. I haven't gotten, because I don't use Blackboard, I have to reinvent the wheel a little bit. Right now, all that is it's like a chapter of a free textbook.
Okay.
So you pop the document open, there's stuff to do, but you'll do it on you can print it if you want to, but by all means do it on scrap paper.
Oh, okay.
And we'll come back to that when we talk about quizzes and projects and things. There'll be some things that are done in Excel. Don't panic, don't panic. Excel's a wonderful thing, and I expect you never to have even used it before. So, is that true? Who's used Excel before? Used Excel? Oh, well, hell. I'm going to assume that you haven't, regardless. I designed the assessments around the fact that I think you've never even opened an Excel document before, and then we work from there. But if you've already used it, you reinforce my notion of why I want to use it. So thank you. That's great. All right, we'll come back to the schedule page. Materials, real quick, we'll go through this. The only prereq for this course is Math 95. You'll probably do less math in here than you did in Math 95, because I've replaced the math with statistics.
Yay.
And you'll definitely do less algebraic mathematics than you did in Math 95. I promise you that. We will use technology quite a bit. We'll use both the TI graphing calculator and we'll use Excel, mostly in class and out of class. I will use Excel in class for demonstration. We'll do these things called randomizations. We'll have a lot of fun with that, actually. But because we're not in a computer lab, there's not enough computer labs on campus, unfortunately, yet. We'll use the TI to help us generate the technology that we need. And then when I have you guys do out-of-class stuff, we'll use Excel. The reason I'm using Excel is because you all have access to it as students here. It sounds like most of you have used it, which is fantastic, assuming that you never have. But it's a great tool, and it's got so many applications for statistics and probability. So yeah, we'll use that. The calculator, like I said, TI-83, I use a TI-84, which is the same thing as a TI-83. As I was sitting in 244 last period, people were downloading free apps onto their smartphones. By all means, use those. Please, don't go out and buy one. There's a link right here. It's an executable file. You can download an emulator that puts the 83 onto a laptop if you want to do that. That's fine too. If you have a PC laptop, it doesn't work on a Mac laptop. But if you bring a PC laptop to class, you can run a TI right there. The only downside of those other technologies is sometimes I write programs and I give them to you guys, and I don't know how to install the programs onto those emulators, but you can work with friends on those if you need to. That works too. Any questions about technology? I like using technology. Why? Why is technology great for mathematics?
It does stuff for you. It does the stuff for you.
Why is that good? Tell me your name.
Hannah?
Hannah, tell me why that's good. Why were computers invented?
Accuracy.
Why are they called computers?
Number.
They were designed to do lots and lots and lots of computations quickly. Why? Why not just do them ourselves? So we can focus on the underlying patterns of what's happening. That's the idea. It's so often, I mean, you probably felt this in Math 60, Math 65, Math 95. You're working so hard in this 12-step process for factoring quadratic equations that by the time you get to the end, you're like, what the hell was I even doing that for? Like, what was the point of doing this? I used to notice this in Math 95 all the time. I got x minus 2 times x plus 5 equals 0 and I'm done. No, you're not. The point was to solve the equation, but you forgot that. If you can offload that to the machine and then look at the results later and understand what the results are telling you, it's that much better. You guys like using cell phones, right? Of course you do. Why? Because you're tired of the can and the string. Because we've graduated past yelling across the hall at each other, and across the state at each other for that matter. Technology is a good thing. It's a great thing mathematically. Now that doesn't mean we're not going to do mathematics by hand in this class. It means we're going to do the right mathematics by hand at the right time in this class. And you'll see what that is starting on Wednesday. There are times for mathematics by hand, there are times for technology. Hopefully over 10 weeks we'll figure out which is which. Okay, textbook, there's nothing to buy. It's a freebie. It's called Math and You. This guy, Ron Larson, he is a beast, absolute beast. If you click on this link, I'm going to show you a couple places it exists. If you click on this link, it takes you to his site, which is a completely free, accessible site. Here's the cover of the book. You can buy a physical copy of it somewhere. Hang on. Purchase, right here. Purchase. I think it's pretty pricey, though. Let's see how much he's asking for it. Hardcover is $103. Paperback is $50. That's kind of pricey. I don't think you need to buy it, and here's why.
Free online access. So we can
That's for free. And also, what some students notice though, it's a little clunky for a couple of reasons. Number one, it's got a bunch of ads at the bottom, which is why it's free, because he puts ads on it, and the ads basically pay for the hosting. You have to kind of type the page numbers in to get places, and then you can go to that page 212, and I think you can scroll through like you're reading a book. You know, I think you can also make it bigger, I think. Let's see if I'm, yeah, it's a PDF. Yeah, so and then I think, depending on your reader, this is all great. And I thank Ron Losser personalized when I met him last month, or last year, excuse me. But you can also get it, let's back up out of here. Oh. You can also, on the schedule page, on this homework sheet that's right here, what I've done is I found the sections of the book that apply to that particular topic and hyperlinked them right next to it. So linear modeling, you click on this, it takes you to just the pages that apply to linear modeling. So you don't have to go through the entire book and kind of find the sections that apply. They're just sitting there. And I also, he didn't put these online. I put the answers to some of the questions at the back. So at the very bottom of it, as soon as it loads, you'll see some of the solutions. I scanned them in for you. So I don't think you'll ever have to go to that page, the materials page with the link. I put the link there in case you want to purchase the book, in case you want to get a copy of it, put it in a folder. By all means, do it. I'm not going to make you do that. Everything you need. You don't use the entire book. We use some of the book. And the parts that we use are going to be here, 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 and probably some here. I'm still kind of dialing that in on here as well. So I don't think it's worth buying the entire thing. Katie, yeah?
You can rent the book too for
You
16
can?
for $16 for 120 days.
For that book, you found that
You can
one.
rent most of the books here at CUCC at bookrunner.com.
Dude, renting textbooks is phenomenal.
Yeah.
Give me the one that you just... Hang on a second, turn the camera. Let's get somebody's on the board. This is huge to know. Book rental is blowing up the textbook industry.
It's bookrunner.com.
Bookrunner.com.
Yeah. Just
Okay.
go in and make your own.
And they do it at the bookstore, so obviously not with this book, because the book's not there, but books that they have in the bookstore, you can rent for, I think it's half of the cost. of
Yeah,
the
it's
book for the whole term.
they linked Bookrunner to it finally
that what it
because
is? Okay.
students had been
Still no
renting it and COCC kind of got wind of it, so they're like, we're just gonna have to.
Well, and that is business. That is economics at work. It happens. But when COCC is forced to deal with it, then they become competitive. Fantastic. And you guys win.
Yeah.
Chegg.com's another one I've heard. I think it's like chicken and egg. I don't know what I think it was probably a domain that was available and they bought it. Honestly, go to Google and type in textbook rental. That's probably the easiest way to find some. You know what, let's try that. Why the hell not?
Yeah, rent them off Amazon too.
Rent them off Amazon now?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Holy
And you
crap.
get free shipping.
Free, yeah, you send it
Oh,
back.
that's even better.
Well, and bookrunner.com is free shipping too.
Yeah, you send it
Book,
back to 'em.
excellent, and it probably in quick turnarounds too, I would imagine. What do we got on textbook rental? What do we see? Chegg's at the top. Book renter, there it is. Checking book renter, college book renter. I guess the domains are getting few and far between now. So, anyway, that's always an option to get. And then this is more for other courses than this one. This one you don't need to rent a book because it's free, and it's just there for you. I put the ISBN up in case you need it. I think I did. Am I lying to you? No, there it is. So you can also, for any of your textbooks, a great thing to do, and by law, all of our syllabi have to have the ISBNs on the syllabi now. You can copy the ISBN into a Google search bar, and it'll go find the books for you. Whoops. Or I'll do the math that it thinks you're wanting to do over there. We'll use a lot of Google calculations in this class. It's kind of fun. But there it is. Math and You had found it, and it's going to find it in a bunch of different places. So there I am right there. So anyway, any of your textbooks for any of your classes, you can do that with. You can type ISBN directly into a Google search. Google's amazing, as you guys have figured out. No doubt by now. So lots of ways to save you guys money. Don't feel like you have to buy the book outright, because it wouldn't bother me so much if you bought the book outright if you could sell it back for some sizable fraction of what you paid for it. Unfortunately, it doesn't seem to happen, and it hasn't been that way in 40 years, or longer. Cool? Any questions about the book? And there it lives for you. And there it lives. By all means, use the parts I've posted. They're all you're going to need. I think what I've posted, combined with what we talk about in class, combined with the resources that are online, I think are going to be more than enough for you guys to learn what we need you to learn in this course. Cool? Any questions so far? You guys golden? All right, let's pop back out of here. Let's talk about assessment. How we doing? We're doing okay. Stop me at any point if this stuff doesn't make sense. I do things a little bit differently in the way I teach my 105, 243, and 244. I think it seems to help lessen the burden of traditional academic education, but doesn't sacrifice rigor. That was a lot of words. I apologize for that at 10:15 in the morning, or whatever the hell time it is, 11 o'clock in the morning. But let me get at what I'm talking about here. So you may have noticed a bunch of red on the schedule page. A bunch of them were quizzes. There were a few things called projects, and there were a couple things called exams. And I kept those terms because they're fairly traditional and they're fairly known by students because you've been dealing with them for 16 years of your life. But let's talk, they're definitely different than your traditional quizzes and projects and exams, and here's how. Every time we do a topic, for lack of a better term, remember those topics? Back out here real quick. The topics are these bad boys here: grade, linear modeling, quadratic modeling. I like to kind of teach them discretely, separately. I like it when they link together. It's one of my favorite things. I love it when, like, expectation links back to probability, which links back to randomness, which then leads directly into statistics. That's why I'm still working on that section. I want to get it all dialed in beautifully. But I like to teach them discretely, because a lot of times, to go straight to here, and including all this stuff too, is just a little much. It's a little much, a lot of stuff to learn. One of my 244s exclaimed, as we were doing a very simple project in class this morning, first thing, she's like, oh my God, it's like 6 things at once. Perfect, it's just like you driving a car. When you're driving a car, or if you're playing the guitar, or playing the drums, or riding a bike, you're doing like 30 things at once, but you're not thinking about them anymore. The idea is that these are discrete ideas that can then be combined later once they become somewhat automated. And that's what I've done here, is try to break the course up into like 9 or 10 discrete topics. Each one of these bad boys, if you click on these, take you out to what I call it a homework page. These homeworks are not traditional homeworks in the sense that I'm not going to be taking them away from you. Some of the homework comes from that Larson text, and some of the homework simply exists on these little links. You'll see, let me back out one more. This guy right here, linear modeling, has some stuff in the Larson book. It also has some of my own problems that I put in here. I'm not going to collect these homeworks. Do as many or as few as them as you want. They're basically, you judge how much you understand something. If you think you got it after class, then you can try the quizzes that I'm going to post. We'll get the quizzes in a second. You can go right to those quizzes and do those quizzes and be good. The homework, I put a lot on there. It is not my intention to do every single one of them. A lot of them are replicated from each other. I've got solutions to almost all of them. The ones that don't have solutions, they will have solutions added, usually video solutions, as this term goes on. Okay? So you'll see when you go to quadratic modeling, here's some Larson stuff, and here's some Sean stuff. Okay? Anything in these boxes is from the Larson text. Anything underneath the E problems are my own. The homework, I don't grade you on. It's just more practice, more practice, more practice, more practice. How I grade you, or how I assess you, is via the quizzes that are posted. And right now I've got 1 quiz posted for each week. There will be more. But before you vomit, let me discuss what's going on with those. Okay, back to assessment. Okay, there are 10 points a pop. Little boom quizzes, little boom. 1, 2 problems tops, not a whole lot. So that's why I say you can do the homework for practice and then go to the quizzes if you want. Okay, I want to submit the quiz now. There will be more. I said you have to do a minimum of 100 points towards your overall grade, which means you have to do a minimum of 10 of them. But you can do as many as you want. You can do as many as you want. There'll be way more than 10 posted. There will also be some quizzes done in class. You'll be working with each other and with me to accomplish those. You'll have a quiz most likely on Wednesday, actually. We'll have you guys walking around campus measuring stairs and taking data and collecting data and collating data. That'll be the quiz, a little 10-point quiz. If you want, you can turn that in at the end of class, and that'll be the first of your 10 mandatory quizzes. Ask me that question. Go ahead.
On the homework?
Yes.
If we do it, and I understand it's practice, but is it also extra credit?
No, it's just practice. Do it. I haven't come to grips with homework yet because people, and this is why I read my course evaluations so carefully. Hearing people talk about homework, it's almost like I have 30 different people that do homework 30 different ways in every class. Some students were like, I wish you didn't even have homework posted. Like, okay, that's not going to happen. And some students were like, I did every single one 12 times. And I'm like, I didn't mean for that to happen. And then some people were like, I did it occasionally. This was the vastly most popular answer was, I did it occasionally. I didn't do it all the time. I did it occasionally. And that's why I keep it all up there. It's just a resource, just like the internet, so to speak. The internet is full of crap you're never going to need. But it's there in case you ever do. It's there. It's like a set of encyclopedias, if you will. So I haven't made it extra credit because I don't want to force people to do more than you already have to do. There's going to be a bunch of stuff you have to do. You have to turn in a minimum of 16 things in this course. That's a lot. Over a course, I mean, think about it. It's 20 days of class. That's a lot. That's like one thing per day. But that's also good because it keeps you constantly thinking about the course. So I didn't want to make one more thing pseudo-mandatory, because as soon as I mentioned the word extra credit, which there are opportunities for that, there will be opportunities for that floating around, I don't want to light that fire too and then burn you guys out. So you'll have way more than 10 potential quizzes. You've got one posted for Wednesday, which you're all going to want to do. Trust me, we'll come back to that one, what's on it. They'll have probably at least a 1 week prep time for them. You do them out of class. You work with each other on them if you want to. Work with tutors on them if you want to. Work with me on them if you want to. Use Google. Use any resources that you want to accomplish those quizzes. I don't make you take them in class with a 10-minute time limit because that's not a good way of assessing learning in my opinion. I think you should be able to use the resources that are available to you like you do with everything else in your life. So, I mean, when you shop for car insurance, do you sit at your desk with a piece of blank paper and a pencil and go, I'm going to draw up my ideal car insurance plan? No, you go online and you look at what's out there and you pull from that. So we're going to approach education the same way in here. So, a minimum of 10, do as many as you want. Ask me that question. Tell me your name again, too.
Mike.
Mike, thank you.
You say we do the quizzes with a tutor?
Of course, yes.
And they know that? They're okay with
They do, but here's what you don't want to do. Don't go in there and, let me rephrase. If you get stuck on a quiz, they'll help you through a stuck point. They won't do it with you. Actually, I shouldn't have said do it with a tutor. They'll help you through stuck points. So don't go in there with a blank quiz and be like, let's do this. Go in there with number 2 half done, number 1 completely done, and say, I can't figure out how to get through this part. And they'll help you with that for sure. Yeah, thank you for pointing that out, Mike. Much appreciated. There will be in-class opportunities for quizzes as well as out of class. I've got lots of these planned already, and I'm going to have more. One of them involves the stairs, one of them involves me and my bike, one of them involves the aforementioned craps game we were talking about. There's all kinds of little ones of randomness, one's exponential modeling, lots of those. I mean, you could knock out easily half of your 10 allotment by in-class quizzes, and then just pick up 5 more out of class. It'll go by quickly, I guarantee. I guarantee that'll, it might seem terrible, like I have 10 weeks, I have to turn in 10 quizzes, my God. Yes, on average, that's 1 quiz per week. But chances are, some weeks you might do 3. And then you've got 3 down, and you've got 7 left, and you're like, oh my God, this is going very, very nicely. So you can do as many as you want. If you do more, it's not extra credit, so to speak. But what I've noticed is, if you do, the more quizzes you do, as long as you're doing well on them, it pulls your averages up. That's what I've noticed. Anecdotally, over time, looking at data from students. Most students turn in most of the quizzes. Last term, Math 105 had 15 quizzes possible throughout the entire term. You'll have even more than that this time, I promise. Most students were turning them all in and totally kicking their butts. They were getting 10s out of 10s on most of them. That was definitely the most popular score. And the ones that were getting the 10s on them, their averages were getting pulled up because of them. It also works the other way. If you turn in a bunch of crap quizzes, your average goes down. That's why I make you turn in 10, not all of them. If there's one you just can't get, it's not making sense, then just don't turn it in. Don't turn that one in, it won't count against your grade. I'm only going to count them against your grade if you don't meet the minimum of 10 by the end of the term. Please.
So is there so many times you can try the quizzes?
Well, that's a damn good question I hadn't thought of. No, I guess not, because you turn them in, you use one because it's old school submission. You're actually bringing them written to class to submit. No, you know what? Actually, I lied. I did think about that last term. I have a thing called a rainy day coupon, and there will be one. I do, and I have to make a new one for the quizzes. There'll be, I gotta figure out if it's gonna be 1 or 2. There will be a coupon you could submit with a resubmission of a quiz if you tag it. At least 1, maybe even 2. Yes, so not every single one, but if you totally get like a 1 out of 10 on one, you can resubmit that way, get the points back for it. I'm also going to have video solutions to the quizzes each week. So every Friday, I'll record solutions to the quizzes that were turned in that week and post them on YouTube as well. And I'll put the solutions with the quizzes. So we'll be building this kind of document of assessment, if you will, as we go through the course. And I understand that the video will be posted before you resubmit the quiz, and that's okay, because I want you to use resources, one of which is me showing you how to do the quiz. Because I don't want you guys getting 1s out of 10s on quizzes. I want you getting 10s out of 10s on quizzes. I want you kicking their butts. So thank you. I forgot, I thought about that in the last class and didn't come back to it. I saw another hand go up. I thought, Natasha, is that correct? Thank you. Maybe I did.
On that rainy day coupon, will it average out, or do you get the new score?
Will it add? No, it won't average out. You'll just like you'll correct the points. Let me explain. It'll make more sense when we get down here.
Okay, then I'll.
But but I'll explain quickly right now. I used to have these things called rainy day coupons for exams, and they're still going to have one of those as well. The idea of that was, suppose the exam was out of 50 points and you got 45. It allowed you to correct the 5 you missed, resubmit.
Okay.
Also with a little bit of journaling to go with it. So the idea was, here's what I did wrong the first time. Here's my corrected work. Here's what I learned by doing it again. It's going to be that kind of thing. So you get a 1 out of 10 on the quiz, you're like, well, I don't know, I was sick as a dog. I missed class twice in a row. I shouldn't have tried doing this, and this is why I subtracted 2 from 5 and got 16, or something like that. And then you just a little bit of journaling, but it's all about learning. It's all about assessment. What I learned by doing it again with more time. So it won't be an average. It'll be just a straight up fix. That's why I'm thinking we do 1 quiz that way. That way it doesn't encourage bad behavior of constantly tanking quizzes and then constantly redoing them. Cool, great questions. Thank you guys. And thank you, Natasha, again for reminding me. I have that written down on my 244 notes. My ADD mind now has heard it twice or 3 times. It's good. Let's take 5 here. We'll come back and finish this. I like to keep you guys out around 11 for a break. But before you wander, let me see who I can get in. I'm going to have to kick a couple of you out, and I apologize for that. I can encourage you, if I can't get you in today, to come back on Wednesday to see if I scared anybody off, which happens sometimes. I can only fill seats. Fill desks. That's all I can do. I can't, unfortunately, fill the comfy chairs. Unfortunately, fire codes or some crap. So, all right. So Lawrence is here. Trey?
Yeah.
Keep telling me that.
All right, no worries.
One of the quiz questions for Wednesday is the sharp memory of a goldfish. True or false? Yes, he does. Chelsea, I saw you. There you are. Deborah.
Yes.
Right there. Thank you. Aaron Butler. Aaron. Michael Callahan.
Here.
Oh, that's right, Mike. Right. Rachel. Good. Amber. Is over there. Hi, Amber. Jeremiah.
Here.
There you are. Good. Galena. Did I say that right? Cassandra.
Right here.
Excellent. Of course. Janelle.
Yeah.
Thomas. Is this Tom right here?
Oh.
Okay, Tom. Madison. Hi. Kelly.
Here.
Excellent. Caitlin.
Here.
Robert. Excellent. Ashley.
Here.
Excellent. Cassie.
Here.
Where's Cassie? Oh, hi. Justine.
Here.
Hi. Tony.
Right here.
There you are. Good. Rosemary. Excellent. Katie's here. Hannah. Hannah Pavola. Oh, hi, Hannah. Michael.
Right here.
Excellent. Shelby. From me. Tori. There she is. Dina's back there. I saw her come in. Farrell, I don't see you. Courtney. Hi. Frankie's here. Brooke. Hi, Brooke. All right. And that's my... So do this for me. If I didn't call you, stand up. Free up a chair. If I did call you guys and check you in, grab a desk that we have just vacated for you. This gives me a visual. I need a visual to know how many seats I got left, how many folks I can let in off the wait list. I gotta go in order. Realize too, guys, that I'm gonna run a 105 next term, definitely, for sure. So we'll get you in. If I can't get you in this term, I'll get you in next term. So, and it's not gonna kill you to wait a term to take the course again. How many seats I got empty here? Got 1, 2, 3, 4. Is that a 5 back there, I think? Yeah, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5. I can pull 5 off the wait list, it looks like. Okay, so first up is Melissa. Are you here? Grab a seat, Melissa. There's 1. Brooke, you're number 2. Natasha, are you here?
Yeah.
Natasha, of course you are. Grab a chair. Natalie McGrath. Jacob.
Yes.
Jacob, there you are. Grab a chair, my friend. So what do we got? Let me do quick count. I counted 5. Is there one back still at Desto?
That's it.
That's it? I thought I counted 5.
I was moving
That
kind of
was
slow,
fun.
sorry.
Oh, that's okay, Michael. That's all right. Okay. So the rest of you guys, let me get 4 people signed in for the 4 people I just got seats to. Get yourself a blue slip. I'll sign you in. Everybody else, take 5. Let me talk to the rest of the waitlisted folks. Everybody that's already signed in, take 5. Get some air. Get some water. Let me pause this. All right. So come back Wednesday. Let's get you guys in. Yeah, give me your blue slip. Come back Wednesday. You guys want to stick around today? Cool. So just stick around today if you want. Let me grab a chair for you.